Hi everyone, this is Frequency Bone Summer Music Connection 11. Making the most of what you have. This is video 7. And I'm trying to think of what to call this one. Because a very interesting thing is happening. And that is that all these different elements, if you've seen the videos, I'm tying them back into nature, whether it's tone, whether it's pitch, whether it's rhythm. And it's just tying me on to my whole journey as a person, which is really wanting to be as close as I can to truth. And what is the living art? We talk about music as a living thing. And I include life as a living art. Some artist, that which created life. Some artist. No matter what you think, no matter what your views are about spirituality or philosophy or anything, if you want to just say nature, nature did a pretty extraordinary job. Not only on our planet, but throughout the solar system, the galaxy, subset of galaxies, and the universe. But we can touch on these things, and we can even use music in our connection to nature. So I'm not sure what to call this yet. Maybe I will at the end of this video. But one of the things that we can do is draw on our experience with nature and expand on it. Now, at the same time, everybody's different. Some people might have such a relationship with sports that they can tie all of their connection with sports into their music, especially as a performer, as someone in training to get better, someone preparing for an audition, concert, jury, to just, okay, what do I do to plan? How can I make sure that my mind and my body are coordinated to be as maximum as they possibly can? And that's a big discussion these days. What is peak performance? I would say, what is a connected, musical, or otherwise event that creates an atmosphere which has an impact on the listeners? But first, it starts with the player making the most out of what they have. And it's actually not complicated. Think about your relationship with nature. We talked about this on a couple other videos. Talked about what if you thought about different colors when you're playing. Next time you're doing your long tones, think of different colors. Take that air in that color, let the air out that color, and let the feeling and the vibe of the color lead you in your inhale, lead you in your exhale. Really let them lead you, and you will learn something about that color that can be utilized in your pieces that you're playing. One piece you might really feel is a fire engine red. Another one might seem like a sunshine yellow. Another one might seem like a young plant growing, that kind of green. Now, one of the things to realize with making the most of what we have is we can draw on our experience And we can expand on our experience by what the things that we've already experienced. Everyone's experienced color. Have you actually tried to put them through your instrument? For real? Have you tried to take the experience of your pet? I know some people have done this. I know I have. And think about them and find a piece that suits them and really make that music alive with the spirit of that pet. And so one of the things we start to come across by doing this kind of wonderful, connective, natural connective work, we're a living thing created by the same creator in a certain way. Big subject. Let's just be simple. Everything comes from the source of where everything came from. And from there, the different branches might branch off to here, and it looks like things just came from that branch. But everything on a tree, for example, comes from the whole living process of the tree, starting in the sap, starting deep within the roots, expressing itself throughout in all the variations of the tree. So with that, you'll realize if you really start tuning yourself, it's really about tuning, another kind of tuning. Don't have to look at the little thing in front of you and see if it's smiling or not, whether you're in tune or not on that app. Because, well, you could use it. See what it does when you think different color on your long tones. Of course, it might not be tuned to the frequency of what those colors would actually resonate to as being in tune. Really opens up what intonation is in a big, big way. So, I encourage everyone, in the spirit of making the most of what you have, making the most out of your experiences that you already have. Another way of saying can do in a certain way. You have an experience with this. You have an experience with different people. You ever thought about different people while you're playing? Sorry, I just cracked my knuckles. Little percussion thing happening here. Thought about different people while you're playing? And find pieces that actually align themselves to some of their nature? People are lost with, what do I do? How does this go? Well, throw things at it. You have a piece of music in front of you. Throw things at it. Okay, I'm thinking of my Aunt Gertrude, and I'm just going to think about her, whatever I'm feeling, and I'm going to play this and think about her. And maybe it'll feel, wow, this doesn't work. Great. You're getting some clarity. And you're on your way to fine-tuning and being more specific with your relationship with that piece and what it actually says to you, instead of just having something enforced saying, this is the way this piece goes. No, I'm not saying don't listen to your teachers if they're saying, look, the phrase does this. That's fine. But, there's a but there. I'm trying to encourage individual investigation to discover and connect to forces that are much more powerful than just thinking of an even airstream or making sure your corners are firm and that your foundational ridge right here has a flatness. And there's very different degrees to that. And so another point that comes up here is because we're individual, our feelings about the different colors, people, places, things, plants, whatever we're trying to connect to, they're going to be different for different people. Very different. Or similar. Depends. I've done things with groups of people where we find a unified thing. It's just It's extraordinary when that happens, and never ceases to absolutely light me up and inspire me. Connection, connection, connection. Many different kinds. And I encourage you to start with what you already have experiences with and deepen them. And you will find more juice in them the more you keep playing with them. All sorts of things can happen and will affect all sorts of aspects of your playing. Okay? Just got some emails from some people who have been enjoying the past videos, the 1 through 6, and saying they're really thinking about, not just thinking about the technique, but connecting, for example, to different colors and different things and feeling what that does to their technique. It's a way of us not getting into a big rut as well. And so we train ourselves to be more fluid. Something's not working. Sometimes we have to keep at something, but sometimes reapproaching that very thing that we're repetitively working on might unlock something we haven't unlocked before because we're looking at it through another angle. And what we connect to provides another fuel. Good air support is not the only energy. The air will only vibrate with the energetic potency of our connection. So, I guess the name of this video is making the most of what you've experienced. We're going to have to talk more on this. Have fun. Dig in. It's a big ocean.